What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you're watching TWA Motorsports. And today, yes, we did buy something else. Did we need it? No. Should we have bought it? Probably not. Does it make sense? It never does. So none of the stuff I buy really makes sense. I don't necessarily use it for daily drivers. So it's just a fun hobby for me, to be honest with you guys. So this kind of fits right into all the fun stuff that we do. Yeah, I know we got a lot of stuff apart. Do we need something else? No, but like I said, I couldn't resist. It's a Facebook Marketplace deal. I got to get off that. I can't keep looking on there because I'm constantly seeing stuff that I think I can get or buy or make money on or whatnot. But before we get to what I bought and talk about that, I do want to talk about something that left, and that is the red stepside. So yes, guys, the red stepside is gone. We thought about moving Cohen to that and trying to sell his white truck, but it just didn't make sense. He uses that truck to mow. He's throwing a weed eater in and out of the back of it, a push mower. So honestly, we didn't want to try to chase that red truck trying to keep it nice while he's doing stuff like that. You know, a rock could hit it. There's all kinds of stuff. It's just, and honestly, I bought it cheap enough where I made a little bit of money. So it is gone. It went to somebody in Chicago, which is 8 hours away. And the reason he drove down here is because all the trucks up there, he said, are rusted out, which makes sense. Those trucks are common. You guys know the rockers, the cab corners, the bed sides. Of course, on a step side, the bed sides don't rust. But anyway, yeah, I get it. But he is a great owner for that truck because he's already got, the day he got home, he put all LEDs in the front of it. He got the windows tinted the next day, and he's already got the back dropped. I don't even know. He's probably a little further into it, but he was sending me some updated pictures. So I may update you guys down the road when he gets some more stuff done to show you, because he was talking about putting a turbo on it. He already had a turbo kit. He's had a couple of these trucks. Like I said, he's really well versed in it. Went to a great home. But yes, it is gone from out here. But let's go talk about what I purchased and what kind of sense it doesn't make. But I'll kind of try to justify it, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I do with all the projects, is I try to justify them one way or the other. And that's what I'm going to try to do to you. I'm going to try to sell you on why I bought this car. But what is it? 2002 Trans Am WS6. You're probably thinking, well, why would you buy this? You have a 2002 WS6. You're right, I do. It's been apart for a long time. Why wouldn't you just focus on that? I'm listening. I'm in my mind, I'm playing out all the comments of, you've got enough projects, finish a project, blah, blah, blah. Hey, one project finished right there. The green truck was a project. It's pretty much finished. I mean, there's some other stuff I'd like to do to it. The hood's up. I'm charging the battery, by the way. Yeah, we work our way through stuff. It just takes me a while because I'm really picky and I like to do things a certain way, and I lose interest on something, so then I hop to another one, and that's kind of the sequence that I'm doing out here, guys. So anyway, 2002 Trans Am. Obviously you can see there's some damage. This thing has a salvage title. It doesn't yet, but the way things work in Missouri is, like, if I had a car and it got crashed and the insurance company totaled it out, the title would still be clean, because in Missouri you keep your title. When I sell it to the new person and they send it off and get a new one, it's then going to be salvage or prior salvage or flagged as previous damage. Okay, so it's not going to be a clean title at that point. And so right now I have a clean title, but I know, and the guy was very forefront, told me that, hey, they totaled it out. Insurance company did. He took the money. He wanted to sell it, but he was sitting in a stoplight and got rear-ended, or stop sign, I don't really know. He got rear-ended. He said it was a pretty slow impact, but it did quite a bit of damage. So he got hit here. It broke that and pushed the front bumper into the car in front of him, which just cracked the paint. Honestly, it didn't really do a ton of damage to the front, but you can see that I don't think it was super slow, because it crinkled the fender, or the quarter, I mean. There, it obviously broke all the mounting tabs. It bent the exhaust. See how that's setting now. There's another crinkle up front. And then check out the gap right there. But I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to start it up. We're going to talk about a little bit more, because the guy really didn't know necessarily what all was done. I mean, he knew some of it, but he doesn't know the specs on some of the stuff. But check this out. It broke the T-top holders, but look at how far down, or how far in that went, and it tweaked this latch. And so that's why the hatch is setting up like it is. But anyway, I thought that we could make some money off partying this thing out. And you guys know how I love to take stuff apart. And this is really cool because I don't have to put it back together. Okay, so I can just piece this out, sell it piece by piece, and just kind of enjoy the process of taking it apart. I think it'd be fun. And so that's kind of why I bought it. Now there's something I have in the back of my mind that we'll talk about a little bit later, but yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, because the taillights are worth some money. They're not cracked. The hatch is worth some money. The wheels and tires, 18s in the front, or 18s in the rear, 17s in the front. Decent tires. Those are worth some money. The hood's definitely worth some money. The hood is not touched at all. A stock WS6 hood goes for good money. I just thought I saw this as me being able to make a little bit of money and possibly keeping a LS1 and 6-speed drivetrain. Because yes, guys, it is a 6-speed manual. This door, by the way, is separating. Common issue on these cars. So to get it open, we have to push on it while we're opening it. Interior's in decent shape, honestly. It's got a little bit of wear on the bolsters, but these seats and interior pieces will sell. I think the console, I mean, that piece is broke, but the top piece is good. The dash is good, which is always cracked. Now it does have the normal cracked door panels, but everything works on the inside of this car. Steering column's in good shape, steering wheel's in good shape. A lot of good things going for this car. Original floor mats in this car, and I don't remember exactly how many miles. We're going to start it here in a minute after we go under the hood and look, because I was pleasantly surprised by some stuff that it has. I think it's got like 104,000. Yeah, 104,000 miles on it. Still got the T-top shades. It's missing a visor. Let's go look under here, because this is where I was kind of surprised. So he listed it as having headers and it making 406 horsepower. So I didn't really, you know, some people, these things showed from the factory making like what, 325, and some people like elaborate on, hey, I put a muffler on it and it makes 400 horsepower. So he didn't really list any mods. Okay, so when I got there and popped the hood and looked at it, I'm like, well, bud, this has some stuff on it. Obviously has an SLP lid. I'll be able to sell that. It has the SLP coupler. I think that's like 50 bucks. MSD plug wires. It has stainless steel exhaust, stainless steel long tubes. It's got stainless steel Texas Speed catback, which is bent, but I still think I can sell it. Green top Ford injectors. I think those are 42-pound injectors. Pretty common when people do a heads cam swap. This has PRC heads on it. If you guys can see the PRC right there. So those are from Texas Speed. It obviously has a camshaft in it. He did not know what, you know, what cam or whatnot, but it does have a cam in it. And he said the transmission has been rebuilt. Now, guys, I went down there just starting it, putting it in a first and reverse, because he told me, he's like, it'd probably be best if you trailered it, which is why you see a picture in the thumbnail on my trailer, because the exhaust is dragging. But I only checked first and reverse. Now Cohen wanted, just dying to drive a manual, and so took this around the block the other night and said he got up into 6th gear and all the gears work. So that's good. It's got a decently new battery in it. I mean, I'm just sitting here adding up some of the pieces I think I can sell, and I really, we'll just leave this open actually. I really think that I can make some money on this deal. Now, he did swap out the headlights are another thing I thought I could sell, but he's got the lazy eye deal where they replace it with LEDs and it only comes up like so far. Not really a fan of that, but it was a younger kid. Anyway, I think there's some parts here. So here's the goal. So like I said, I think I said, I paid $6 grand for the car. The goal here is to part it out and be able to keep the motor, transmission, and wiring harness for free. Okay, so do you think there's $6 grand worth of parts here? It's gonna be pushing it. I think there is. I think the hood by itself will go for $1 grand, if not more. I think the wheels and tires will go for 500. So there's 1,500 right there. So now we're in at 4,500. I think the interior, like the seats, will go for, let's say, 300 to 500. Okay, let's say they go for 5. Now we're down to $4 grand at owing me back. It's still got a good rear end. It's got good tail lights. It's got a good deck lid. It's got good T-tops. T-tops kind of don't sell, but yeah, I think, guys, I think we can get close. We may not get all the way there, but another thing is when I got there, he's like, do you want the extra parts? And I said, well, I don't want any stock parts. I've got enough of those. And he's like, no, I've got some other parts. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but the front and the back set different. The back, he has a brand new UMI sway bar and UMI springs and Bilstein shocks that he put in. So I'm going to be robbing that stuff and putting it on my car because I have stock sway bars. And then he gave me the front sway bar, Bilstein shocks, and UMI springs. Now I've already got springs and stuff, but that is what that guy is. Never been put on. Those springs never been put on. Bilstein, so I can sell that stuff because I've got coilovers on the front of mine. That TRQ box is actually new window motors, power window motors for this thing. So like I said, guys, I think we can use some parts for my Trans Am build, and I can part some stuff out, sell some stuff, and hopefully keep a drivetrain. But let's start this thing up so you guys can hear it, because I'm excited about it just being a 6-speed. Like I said, I kind of have an idea, but I don't know whether that's going to happen. Definitely lopey. It's loud, but the exhaust is unhooked. You can definitely tell it has a camshaft though. See the exhaust hitting the ground? But this thing is super quiet up here. Like, the motor makes no noises. I don't think it's a bad deal. Shut it off. So what will we do with the motor and transmission if we were able to get it? Now look, let's say I get down, I make $4 grand on parts. I've still got $2 grand in a motor and transmission and wiring harness. I think that's a good deal. These things are selling, for some reason, the LS motors, the LS1 with a 6-speed and harness are going for like $5 grand. I don't know what there is about it. I think because it's an aluminum block, it doesn't, you know, it's not going to make the most power. Like, you can't get a ton of power out of an LS block, the original LS1 block anyway. But I think people like that they're light because they're aluminum and they can put them in just about anything. And so that's kind of my thinking, is what out here could I make a manual? Because we don't have a manual. Honestly, guys, I thought about the white truck, but I want something the whole family can get in. I've been back and forth on the blue 54. I think it would be so cool to have that motor and trans in the 54. Now, originally, when we took the motor out of the 52 pickup back there, we talked about doing an LS swap. And if I do this, I'm going to show you guys the whole process of taking that car apart back there. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to try to keep you updated on what I sell stuff for and where I'm at as far as like money in it versus money out. And but if I get that motor and transmission out, I could put it in that 54 Chevy here in the garage and do it on the cheap. And when I say cheap, that means making my own harness out of the factory harness, not upgrading anything, okay? Maybe putting an oil pan gasket on it. It's got a little bit of a leak on the oil pan gasket, putting that in it, but stabbing in that car and not doing anything else. So not tearing stuff apart, cleaning it, putting it together. Clean up the motor, but not worry about repainting parts under the hood. Just get it in and running. Stock, that's an S10 10 bolt. It would absolutely destroy that. It's got the stock leaf springs. That's way too much power for that, but it would be a fun cruiser, and I could get it together quickly, and we could go back later and upgrade the parts that I want. But here's what I don't want. I don't want another car torn apart in the shop that I'm constantly trying to do stuff to. I may even get it all in there and take it somewhere and have somebody finish up getting everything like tidied up. So like hooking up, let's say, the drive shaft, or making a transmission mount, or hooking up the hydraulics on the clutch. I may just get it done and take it somewhere and have them do it so I can have it back turnkey. I don't know. That's kind of something that has been going on in the back of my mind. Now, I still have that car listed for sale, and I've actually got a guy that's supposed to come look at it today. So I don't know if that'll happen, but if it doesn't, I'm still going to keep that motor and transmission in here for some project down the road. Could it land in the white truck? Maybe if that sells and I don't have anything to haul the family around in, I guess I might think about putting it in the white truck. But for now, I'm not. I just don't want another regular cab truck. I want something that's fun for all of us to ride in. And that car runs, but it's so slow, and you can't even drive it more than 55 miles an hour. It's pretty tacked out as far as RPMs. But anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy this little update video, and the future, which is tearing stuff apart, which like I said, I like to do. But if you did, go down there and let me know in the comments. Of course, hit that thumbs up button, guys, if you like this video. If you are not subscribed, go down there, hit that subscribe button. Of course, like always, ring the bell notification. That will notify you every single time we drop a new video. And stay tuned to see what we do next.